Today I have a fun wig review for you. I am going to give you a threefer. Today we are going to review Jon Renau Miranda in the color Midnight. I am going to compare Miranda and Miranda Lite, the fully hand-tied cap version, and we're going to talk about this color, Midnight. It's one of their ombre colors that was released last year, 18 months ago, and I reviewed some of the others, but I've never had a chance to show you this color, so we will talk about that as well. I will timestamp all the major segments of this video, so if you are only here to see the color, you can skip ahead to that segment. It's at the end. Just go down to the description box and find that timestamp, click on it, and it will take you straight there. Let's talk about Miranda. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. I am really grateful to Name Brand Wigs for allowing me to partner with them on this review. They sent me both of these pieces so that I could review them, and I had asked them if they would also send this color because I've never shown it, and so I could really get kind of three great bits of information your way thanks to them. They are a wonderful online retailer. I highly recommend them. If you're struggling at all and you need help with your journey, please consider emailing them, support@namebrandwigs.com. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. I will also put a coupon code down there. The coupon code works on all Jon Renau wigs. Okay, so here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna talk about the original Miranda, which is on my head. And then I'm gonna go to the Miranda Lite cap version, and I'm going to do a little contrast. So when I'm showing you that cap, I'll kind of give you the contrast to this one, and then we'll talk about color. So let's take a look at the lace front on this Miranda. Remember, this is the original Miranda, not the light version. Because this color is so dark, you can see knots, but they actually did a pretty good job of keeping them really small. You cannot bleach knots on a synthetic wig. So the darker the color, the more likely it is to be able to see the knot. I do think they did a reasonably good job with a color this dark. We also have a left mono part, so left going over to the right, and that's that part line. They did a pretty good job of giving it a defined part line compared to the light, which we'll see, and we've got a lot of layers as well, as you can see. This wig is what I would consider a moderate density piece. It has a fair amount of hair, great for ponytails, and there is quite a bit of permatease back here. There's not a lot of permatease on the top at all. It's pretty flat up here, but there is quite a bit back here. It gives it a fullness that actually makes it look like it has more hair than it does. So it gives it a volume and a fullness that makes this kind of va-va-voom hair, but that volume is not up here. So a lot of times wig wearers can get overwhelmed by permatease on a synthetic wig. If there's a lot of it up here, they've really maintained most of it in the back. So let's take a look inside this cap. So what I said was lace front, goes ear to ear, so it is pretty much an extended lace. We have got that left mono part, so all of that is parting space, gives it the appearance of scalp. Soft ear tabs with bendable stays, an extended nape, and Velcro adjusters. The rest is open wefted onto the light cap. I'm going to put her on camera because I know how important it is to be able to see how someone puts a wig on, especially when you're new. I like to just dive in, flip up, and then I take the ear tabs to adjust where the lace is. Sometimes I've got to do it from the top depending on the wig. These ear tabs are so thin because they're mainly lace. We'll look at that in a moment, it's hard to adjust them with the ear tabs only on this one. So if you're looking for a piece with super thin ear tabs, this could be a great one for that. Just comb through her. I'm going to hold the lace so I don't pull it and kind of get it back off my face as much as I can. We will talk about the face flopping on this one in just a moment. But let's take a look at this one from all sides first. All right, so right off the bat, this one is much more of a face flopper than the other one, for sure. And that can happen with wigs, especially straight styles. And it may not happen with every one of these. So one of the things that's important to understand about synthetic wigs, or just any wig, is that some parts of wigs could be machine made and some parts of wigs can be handmade, meaning a human being has handmade or hand tied some of the pieces into that wig. And in the case of a lace front, every fiber on the lace front is hand tied. So a human being took every individual fiber and tied them into that lace front. Usually it's individual too on the front because that's how they keep knots looking really small. In the case of this wig, not only is all of that lace hand tied, but the entire top, because it's a full monofilament top, is hand tied. Another thing I'm noticing besides just the face flapping is it's really hard to find a defined part on this one because it's pretty densely knotted on the top. Now, this is so common with wigs. It's not a criticism at all. The reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to be surprised, but I also think we should have realistic expectations when it comes to wigs. I find I frequently have to pluck part lines so that I can get a little bit more of a defined part and the hair will lay more naturally side to side. And I often have to use heat to get lift in the front of some wigs. These are made with regular synthetic fibers, so you're not going to take regular heat tools, regular hot tools to these, but you can use a clothing steamer. I have a video showing how to pluck a part line and use a clothing steamer to get lift in a wig that was a bad face flopper. I'll make sure that video is linked below. If you have a heat-friendly synthetic wig, you can use regular hot tools. I personally like to use a hot comb on those to get lift. I have a video where I show plucking the part line and using a hot comb to get lift, so I'll make sure that video is also linked below. And finally, I do have a video showing how to cut bangs. So if you are a bang wearer, you can absolutely cut bangs into both of these. And I like to use a thinning razor to do that. It's just a little more foolproof for my clumsy hands than a straight scissors. I'll link that video below as well. So while the face flopping on this one is different than the other, that isn't actually one of the biggest differences that I'd like to talk about because it can vary. But another big difference between the two of these is Permatease. This piece right here has no Permatease at all. It is flat everywhere, straight down to cap, no volume. And because of that, I think this one looks actually a little longer in the back because there's no lift. There's no volume. On that other one, they had a bunch of Permatease that gave this a little lift and a little roundness that this one doesn't have. Looking for no volume, no Permatease, a hand-tied wig can be really great for that. Another big difference is the lace front. So this lace front on the light caps, I'm going to lift it so that you can see. Hold on. The hair is just so floppy. Let me show you. That lace front is very, very thick. I will show it to you when I take it off, but I'm just gonna let you see that one more time. And this is an extended lace front that goes, the ear tab is actually lace. And so if I want to style the hair, you know, pull it up off my face, or even if I want to tuck it, this lace will lift just a little bit. Here are your options for that. Number one, don't tuck the hair, just leave it down. Number two, use a little adhesive. I have used It Stays in the past. I've used Ebin Spray. I've used Lace Stick by Wig Guru. I'll link a few videos on some adhesives in case you're not familiar, just to give you an idea of some options that you have. Option three, cut it off. Last year, I reviewed Elly Lite. Elly is one of Jon Renau's human hair wigs in this light cap, and this just wasn't working for me. So I cut it off and I made a video showing how. I also find the lace on this to be a little long from the hairline down. And so I trimmed that back a little bit as well. So I'll put that video below, but the reason I'm telling you this, sometimes we love everything about a wig, but maybe one thing. And oftentimes that one thing is fixable. In the case of a wig like this, all I really needed to do was cut the lace off a little bit and it was perfect. And I find some brands, I always have to trim the lace back. So to me, that's not that big of a deal. It's certainly not a deal breaker for me. And so if you're willing to work with your wigs, that's just an example. And I just wanted to share what I would do. This is the full lace front, full mono top. That's those ear tabs that are basically laced with silicone and a stay in them. So they are ear tabs, but they're super thin and made mainly out of lace and silicone. All of this is hand tied, so no wefting. We've got an extended nape with silicone and Velcro adjusters. So let me talk about the silicone on this. For women with no bio hair at all, silicone can be a godsend because it can help your wig to stay secure and you don't have to wear anything underneath to keep it secure. With bio hair, silicone doesn't tend to do very much. I don't find it helps or hurts. But on the nape here, if you find that wigs ride up in the back, maybe you have more of a flat back of the head and you have trouble with wigs riding up, this is gonna grip your neck. When I'm wearing this one, it grips the back of my neck and does not move. It's actually, I'll be honest, it's a little disconcerting at first because I'm not used to it. Not very many wigs have that, but it just grips my neck and goes nowhere. So if you've struggled with that, consider trying a wig with silicone back there. There aren't many, but it may just be everything that you needed to feel like your wig is not gonna move. Let's talk about fit. I threw the original Miranda on so that you could see it again, and I can reiterate the fact that this feels like, it looks like it may have more hair because it looks more voluminous. I think they've got the same amount of hair, but with this Permatease back here, it really makes this feel like va va voom hair. So you have definitely got a volume on this one that you don't get on the one with the light cap. As for fit, Jon Renau is known for running true to average. I have a 21¼ circumference, and this is big on me. I can cinch this in a fair amount. This is stretchy. I get a little bit of extra cap on the top, which means that if you are bigger than me over the top of your head, I am just over 12 inches ear to ear and 12.5 front to nape. All my measurements are in the description box below. I think this is gonna fit if you're bigger than me. The light cap, let me throw that one on so that I can tell you what I think of the fit. And I'm actually gonna take off my wig grip because that helps me assess even more. I've already had that one on my head with no wig grip. So let me throw this back on. Yeah, so this one is running a little bit bigger over the top. I'm getting a lot of extra cap up here. The ear to ear is also running quite big. I can pull it down over my ears. Part of that is this is just such a stretchy cap, but I can pull it down over my ears, and there is a lot of stretch, way more stretch on this one than on the original. So I would say that in this case, this light cap is running a little bit bigger than the original cap on the pieces that I have on me, but there can be a little bit of variation. And the reason I think that's important to know, because it's unusual. Sometimes you find hand-tied caps to run smaller than the original caps, but I'm just not finding that to be true in the light caps from Jon Renau. Let's talk about color. Midnight. The code for this one is S2-103/18RO. RO just means they're ombre. Jon Renau ombre. So I think in the beginning, or when I was showing the lace front, I might have said that this is black on the top. A 2 is technically a dark brown, or sometimes I've seen it referred to as a soft black. It is definitely very, very dark. The darkest brown you can get before it's black. And then we basically got this, it's almost like a long root, and then it blends into an ash, blonde, and mushroom tones. So it softens it up just a little bit, but because of this long root, it's very dark halfway down my face. You can tuck some of that away and bring up some of the lighter if you want to. It's really a unique color that is something different. Let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have questions. I really hope this helped. See you soon. All right, we've got this really unique color outside. I just pulled her out of the box, so I haven't really combed through her or done anything yet. Look at that super dark root. Really unique color. Really unique color. I hope I'm getting all of it. She's a real face flapper right now, but like I said, fresh out of the box. I mean, just look at that. So fun that a company, any of the companies come out with such unique, fun colors, because, you know, we don't always want to wear just a normal, natural color. And when you wear wigs, you can have fun if you want to. Thanks for watching. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.